Welcome back, Capstone learners, to video 1.2. What is the research problem? In this section, we want to take a look just at that, your research problem and how it relates to how you're going to address it into an actual research question, which quite honestly forms the basis of the entire paper. So while this is a fairly focused section here, we want to make sure we take extra special attention on how to develop the problem as well as the question. Again, it's a brief section. It's powerful, however, that this information gets shared in a very clear and articulate way. We're looking at really developing one paragraph here that shows the problem. In other words, what is observable? Can the reason you chose your topic, it's the reason you chose your topic in many instances. What is it that you've observed? What experientially have you seen that seems to be a problem through your lens of how you view education or the workforce? The issue, what underlies it? So if the problem is out there and that's what you see, what are the things that are circulating underneath it? What's the groundswell that's leading to this problem? In other words, this isn't oftentimes real visible. It's not seen directly, but it's the causes of what you see. And so as best as you can articulate that, we want to get that out and make sure that the reader of your capstone gets a clear understanding of what the issue really is. What's the underlying piece? The objective, what do you seek to address? So you've addressed the problem. Now, what are you trying to address with it? So it sets the goal for your project. So the problem, the issue, and the objective really kind of get you turning towards this idea of placing out this key or essential question. In other words, what does your project address? You need to be clear and concise on this question. It's what you'll be responsible for answering in the project. It would be a tragedy if you got through your capstone project and your presentation and weren't able to answer this question at your presentation of your findings. So you really want to, this is where it all boils down, folks. Can you answer the research question? And that's what we want to take a look at here in the next couple minutes. So some examples of research questions. Let's just take a look at what a good research question is. It's specific. It's clear. So in other words, it's drilled down to the kernel of what it is you want to do. It's probably been delimited. And what I mean by that is it's really specific and focused in on a particular group of people, a particular location, a particular best practice or an idea, or a host of other things. But whatever it isn't this real general thing. And you should have probably spent a fair amount of time whittling down your general topic to something that's pretty specific. So you're probably in a good spot with that right now, but you will be challenged to always look at that from different ideas. But specific and clear. The question has to be clear because these researchers, these readers of your paper may not have a working knowledge of your topic like you do. You're the expert. This is what you're getting the degree for. This is your contribution to the field of education. It refers to your addressed problem. It suggests an intervention. In other words, how do you fix this? What's the intervention that would go in? And then it notes the target participants. So for a couple minutes, let's play around with this a little bit. Tell me if you think this is a good or bad example. I kind of give it away at the bottom, but do students in Algebra 1 class who engage in the XYZ curriculum perform significantly differently on state tests than students who do not participate in that curriculum? It's a good example. It's specific and clear. The reader or someone knows who the participants will be. So we've got the students in Algebra 1 class, and somebody knows that the student performance on state tests is the problem. We've obviously had a problem or a gap or an issue with lower test scores. And so we're going to run a curriculum study or a curriculum up against that to see if that curriculum will help raise the test scores. So all of the pieces in the bullets above are really noted in this example. And so this is a good one. Let's take a look at a not so good example. Here it is. What strategies improve student understanding of main ideas in history texts? Well, the problem's clear, but the target group isn't. So we've got some lack of understanding as students read history texts, but we don't know which students they are, and there's no specific reference to an intervention. What is the strategy? Are you going to look at several? Are you going to look at one? This is important if this will be an experimental research. Are you going to do this through experimental methods? If it will be descriptive research on the other hand, that may not be as big of a deal. But however, you can see the fluffiness, you can see the general nature of this here. We need to be able to drill down a little bit more specifically to these ideas. So this paragraph and this video, which is taking, quite honestly, a number of minutes to kind of highlight, really is going to set the tone. And so as we're talking about first impressions here in chapter 1, getting this down very closely is key to your success. So take a little bit of time here as we continue to go forward and see how you can drill that question down. You've probably done some of this in some of your independent research courses, 691 or certainly 692. So I wish you well and continued success on your project.